Welcome back to the channel. If you've clicked on this far, you can see what I've done. I sold the Sankey trailer because, as you know, I'm no longer using the Land Rover, and that's got a NATO hitch on it. I'm using the van, and that's got a standard tow ball on it. So, as any middle-aged man does, I'm sat on a Sunday night looking at trailers on eBay. And as I'm scrolling through, I'm looking at things like the small IFA Williams, the little box ones, and all the rest of it, looking for just a cheap option, just to chuck a couple of bits in, like when we do the bigger meets, like a fire pit, like a marquee, the group stuff that you end up taking. And at the same time, the Overland geek in me keeps looking at expedition trailers. And I saw this thing, and it didn't look like either or. At first, it looked like a bit of a DIY garden trailer. Then I noticed the disco alloys, and I thought, well, that's the same hood pattern as a Land Rover, so that must be a bit more heavy duty, surely. So I looked a little bit deeper. So it turns out this is what's called a Merlin expedition trailer. And I did my usual thing and put a stupid bid on it, and then forgot about it. And a week later, it's on the back of the van and I'm driving it home. And what is crazy about this is I actually got better miles per gallon towing this home than on the drive there, because I had to drive that little bit slower because I had a trailer on. It did better at PG. That's how light this thing is and how it moves. Obviously, when it's loaded up with a few odds and sods, it won't be like that, but just as an empty trailer, I can move this around the yard, 2 fingers on top of the roof rack. That's amazing. Lovely guy I bought it off, really interesting fella. He's changed from a 90, which you'll probably see from the old paint. He had a red 90. He's then raptored it, we'll get into that. But then he's also changed his setup. He's got a transporter van, but he was into his adventure camping on enduro bikes and stuff. Don't get me wrong, it looked better than this on pictures, but I've gone over it with the heavy duty jet wash, and I've got in all the little areas everywhere ready for paint. And as you can imagine, like anybody that's ever painted Raptor, it's hard to get into the edges, and then when water does get into the edges, it lifts and cracks off. So that is on its way out. However, as soon as I've put this camera down, the DA is coming out. I'm going to flat this back off. We're going to give it a silver paint job, put the hex pattern on the same as the van, repaint the checker plate and things like that in a black. So it's all going to be silver and black to match the van. And it should look very, very smart very, very soon. So that will be another video, because I know you lot love painting videos and love to tell me how I'm doing everything wrong. I'm going to die in 3 minutes after making the video. So as said before, it's got disco alloys. I think these are the Boost ones or something like that. These are coming off. I have got some black modular wheels with 265 tyres which match the van. Obviously the stud pattern doesn't match the van, but worst case scenario, it means that I've got more tyres exactly the same that can be used for the van. I'll also be putting a spare on the rear of the trailer, like I've seen some on the images on Google what people do. That way it keeps up free space inside, so I don't have to have a wheel in there. The lighting pack on this is straight out of 1996. They're coming off. We're going to get some LED hamburger style lights on there, and what I think I'm going to do as well, and this is going to be a 50-50 thing. You know, on like Arctic lorries and stuff, they have the rubber out bits with the white light at the front, red light at the back, yellow light at the side. Sticking some of them on the back corner, because this is a bit narrower than the van, and although I can see it in the camera, it's nice just to be able to see it in either mirror, you know, just sticking out a little bit. You know, you just give the steering wheel a little bit of a wiggle, the trailer does that, you can see it's there, happy days. Spare wheel there, might stick another wheel bag on it, something like that, and then some drop down legs, and then that way we've got the jockey wheel at the front, the drop down legs at the back. Because the master plan for this whole thing, because I am looking at getting more group stuff as the Patreon continues to grow a little bit more, I'm putting a little bit of money to one side for things like a big stretch tent, you know, that groups of people can get under when we're out of the weather and things for the winter months. It takes time, it's not a fast growing thing. Also, looking at putting a roof tent and an awning on this. The reason for that is, if someone wants to come with me and film, or if my daughter wants to bring a friend or something like that to the camp, I can jump in the roof tent on here, they can take the van with all the nice bits in it, happy days. Or if I bring a camera person with me that wants to do some filming, I can rock up, unhitch it from the back of my van. They've got their own self-contained living space, awning. They can put a battery bank in there, got water supply in there. They've got everything that they possibly need to come camping with me. All they've got to do is chuck the Bergen in there, happy days. And as investments go, trailers very, very rarely depreciate in money. They tend to go up once they've reached a certain point. So it's no real loss on the bank account. Bit of work done to it, it's going to be worth more than what I paid for it in no time at all. Between rubbing down, painting, sticking a few bits on, it is a little bit of a project. I'm going to have to throw a little bit of money on it. So by selling the Sankey, that's paid for the bulk of this. We're going to put some man hours into it. We're going to do a few bits. The bulk of the labour, I think, is going to be on getting this thing rubbed down and painted, which I actually quite enjoy that because I can just turn my brain off. There's a few other little bits like the tentage and stuff like that. Obviously, we're going to have a look at what kind we're going to get, but that's got to tie in with the channel because YouTube has to pay for itself in some way, shape or form. So there'll be a couple of products in the videos to come. So that's why, if you're wondering why they pop up. And then not only that, we've got to work out what we're going to have up here, because I've gone down a rabbit hole now and things have changed. So 10 or so years ago, when I last had a roof tent, you had the choice of, say, a South African one or the cheap Chinese ones or something like that. And there wasn't much about. There was like a hard shell one, three soft shell ones, and that was about it. I have spent night after night after night looking at tents, and I can't make my mind up what I'm going to stick on here. I don't think I want anything that's canvas with a fold-on cover, because that takes time. The only way I'd go for something like that is if it's got some built-in awning thing and I don't need to get an awning, if that makes sense. The ones that I do like the look of are the, forgot what they call them, is it Mongolia, whatever it is, the ABS plastic style ones where they lift up as a wanner. That's my favourite one. However, every man and his dog now seems to be doing an aluminium hardshell, which, if I tow this through hedges, trees, anything like that, would take it a lot better. They also seem to have roof racks on a lot of them. So on top of the roof rack, I could put a bike rack or something else. Give us your opinion down below on brands, shapes more than anything else, and the positives and negs of them, because I remember when the aluminium ones came out, loads of people were saying they got condensation in, which I don't really want that, because this isn't going to get used every single video. This is going to get used when there's multiple people coming with me, or I want to go make a video and one of the other lads is passing my house, I can jump in with them and hook this on the back and we split the fuel. But yeah, let me know. Also, I'd like a 270 on it to get massive coverage, because the van only has a wind out awning, which is limited in some respects. So 270 would be absolutely awesome, but how do I do the brackets? So I was thinking a box section post that comes up here, that's bolted to the chassis leg there and the chassis leg there, one either side, like a 3" by 3" piece of box that comes up to about this high. Inside that box, another piece of box section that slots in, holes all the way down with pins. Then the bracket mounted to around about this high where the roof tent's going to sit. That then gives this much on top, which if the roof tent's here and it's mounted at that as a driving height for the awning, it could then lift up to about here, which is a walk underneath, workable surface. Awning comes out. You can still then, if the awning's up here, get hold of this hatch and lift it up. As you can see, it's not actually short of space in there, is it? I've got 4 265 tyres in there comfortably, and we could get other stuff in there as well. I'm guessing with a roof tent on, I'd have to uprate the gas shocks on there, but that's not a big ordeal at all. As for servicing and stuff, the previous owner has just done all the wheel bearings on it, which they're the same as a Defender, so happy days, serviceable parts. I've got spare bearings as well in that Land Rover of spares that can go with this trailer in its little first aid kit. And I am aware there's some Hawkeye viewers out there that'll be eyeing up that teardrop trailer, that off-road one down there. Everyone comment below, Stu, pull your finger out, and you might pull that out and we'll get a look at it. That's what I built pre-COVID and it's still sat there. Everybody tell him. So I'll put a little playlist together for this trailer. Make sure you're subscribed. I'll show you all the items that I do to this, all the work that goes into it. Hopefully you can learn along with me and we'll get some laning trips in this and actually take it off-road, because if you follow the channel long enough, I don't just build these things and take them to grass campsites, I do actually take them out. So make sure you're subscribed. Drop us a comment down below what you think we should do tent wise, awning wise, any other bits, because it'd be interesting to see what people think of this and what we can do.